in your living room. At the turn of the century, the eastern seaboard from Virginia to Texas was dotted with lumber camps. These lumber camps provided the raw materials needed to rebuild a nation that the Civil War, at the very least, had badly disfigured, or in the case of the South, literally reduced to ashes. There was an industrial revolution, a massive expansion of the railroad systems. The need for timber had become a top priority, and a national chain of lumber camps grew up overnight. Though technically governed by state and federal laws, they existed many miles deep into the woods and away from the rest of society. And they functioned under their own laws. Let's just say they were far less concerned with the moral fiber of their citizens. Work long and grueling hours under minimal safety considerations were welcome. Often these camps were run by private companies with little concern for the health or well-being of the lumberjacks. In turn, where you came from, your criminal records, etc., well, they didn't really matter. As long as you could swing an axe for 10 hours a day, well, who really cared? Brings us to the railroads. Long before the days of logging trucks, these camps depended on the railroad lines to get their product from town to town. Indeed, their entire existence revolved around the railroad. Aside from shipping timber, railroad cars were often used as dormitories, mess halls, and on weekends, hastily constructed saloons. Now, these saloons featured untaxed whiskey, served in large barrels, at least a couple of boxcars worth of local working girls, and over in a corner almost every single time, an old beat-up piano. Very few of the lumberjacks were musically inclined, so the first circuit of piano players was born right there. These players played loud and they played fast and long. Their left hand often imitating the familiar chugging up rhythm of the train, while their right hand often banged down simple counterpoint phrases. I'll demonstrate, sort of like this. The style was known by such colorful names as Dudley Joe, Texas Stop, Drive 'em Down, and ultimately, as you know it, Boogie Woogie. The men who played this style had equally colorful names: Romeo Nelson, Raghead, Three Finger Sam. There were very few piano players named Neil. Most of them could fight as well as they played and were often forced to when confronted by drunken patrons. In these places, the piano man was more than just a musician. He told stories, related news from other lumber camps, and often managed the financial affairs of the, well, working girls. And that brings us to rent parties in the city. Although this style may have originated in the lumber camps, it wasn't long before this rough and crude style found its way into the city. Indeed, it became the favorite style in rent parties and little hole-in-the-wall saloons. It was still looked down upon by the more educated players and wasn't even considered in the brothels where jazz and stride were played. But boogie-woogie and blues piano, well, they grew up in places where the pimps, the prostitutes, and the drug dealers got what they got off work. That's what they did. Listen to that piano. My grandfather played piano his entire life. Boogie woogie and honky tonk too. He sat me next to him on the piano when I was just 3 or 4 years old. His left hand slammed down, rumbling and growling like thunder. Right hand started to fiercely attack the upper register, jackhammering notes with confidence that only 50 plus years of playing in beer joints can produce. He smiled as he watched my reaction. No words were necessary. He knew from that moment on that I was hooked on boogie woogie, blues, honky tonk, genuine rock and roll roots piano.